What happens when James Gunn tries to make Guardians of the Galaxy for DC? Find out when we review The Suicide Squad. As always, spoilers ahead. The intro was really weird to me. I liked it. I liked that they had basically like this really long setup.
Oh, we started.
You didn't
Oh yeah, we're starting.
anybody.
Oh, I forgot.
Welcome to TV Party Time. I thought you were talking about our intro.
Yeah,
No, I can start over.
Oh, we're keeping this in now. It's already going.
So we have me like primping. Okay, sorry. So
Anyway,
I'm Abbie. This is David and Mikal, and we are TV Party Time.
and starting off strong.
Yeah.
So you're saying the intro?
The intro was weird here and there because they have this whole like long setup where they show like the Suicide Squad basically gearing up to like go do this task, and then just like almost all of them die. And then it has like the beginning credits, and I'm like, oh, that was fun. It was fun because it was like really engaging, I guess, or interactive. But it was also just like kind of weird because it was like felt like it was like 10 minutes.
I didn't like it.
It was
I
like
didn't
10
the
minutes
intro.
of video.
Is that weird? I was gonna say I did not. I didn't love this movie.
I didn't love the movie either, but I figured we'd wait till the end.
Yeah.
The intro, I don't like when movies. Well, I do, but I don't like when they do like flash forward,
Mm-hmm.
and then like 10 minutes they're like, this would. I don't like the whole like spoiling something big and then showing backstory.
Mm.
Like unless it's like in a whole long timeline where it's like a bunch of things going on, not just like it literally could have started in the past and then shown that, and it wouldn't have changed anything. It just seems like they wanted to do that for like a interactive opening credits. That's all.
Yeah.
Because it added nothing to the storyline.
Mm-hmm. I feel like the trailers for this movie ruined the movie because they literally showed the best parts of the movie in the trailer, and when they came on the screen, the actual film, it was just kind of weird, and it was like, I already saw this.
Yeah.
You showed this entire scene, like when they're in the plane with the werewolf scene.
Yeah, that was like the entire.
There was a whole scene in the trailer, and it's like, this part was really funny, but you ruined it because I saw this trailer 40 times.
Yeah, they just cut it ahead. Like they just sped up the scene in the trailer so it could fit there.
They just cut out the fuck part. That's all they did.
Yeah.
It was.
What was the flashback?
So it started where they're fighting on the beach, and then
Yeah.
it flashes back to them all getting recruited.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, oh, this happened, and then they go back forward ahead.
Does
Team
it?
Forward
two,
ahead.
it starts with Team 2 or Team 1 getting recruited and killed, and then it goes to Team 2
Well, not even
getting
recruited.
and killed.
They didn't even recruit Team 1.
No,
well,
they
they
did.
recruited the
Yeah.
one guy,
Savant, yeah.
which is really weird because they give
Oh,
exposition.
yeah.
Like, you know how it is. This is what we have to do. It's like, no, that's your.
Which one was Savant again?
The guy with the long blonde hair
Who got his head blown up?
in the very beginning.
Yeah. Oh, the one with the javelin?
No,
No, that's Javelin.
that's Javelin. He was the guy with the long white hair in the
Savant?
opening scene.
Oh, yeah, the guy with the scars who was like
Who was throwing the ball?
throwing the ball.
Who we didn't see anything about. He just cowardly ran away.
Also, this is just something weird. His hands, when they did like the close up of his hands throwing the ball, his hands looked really young, but like his face was aged, and I was
His
just like
arms looked really old.
so
if that makes
confused.
sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was. Yeah, just,
The look of the film was so weird. There was just something weird about the entire, like, the color correction they chose to do. Like, was off-putting in some way.
I liked the color.
Oh, really?
Look. I liked the gray.
I was not into it. It just felt weird.
It
took
made
away
it look
the
more.
funness.
I think I thought it added to it, like made it more
Really?
vibrant.
I thought it took away the funness and made it. This is going to be a hot take. This film was not better or worse than the first Suicide Squad.
I thought this was leaps and bounds
Oh
better
no,
than the first
I
one.
think it's on par because it has the same problems as that movie, and the color is one of them. The music is one, and the tone of serious parts is way over the top whenever they went into like a serious moment, and that's
like when you're talking about like Ratcatcher, like when she's going into her backstory.
yeah, and
Her dad's a heroin addict.
yeah.
Like he had his problem.
wait.
Like no, his problem was heroin.
Yeah.
Wait. So you thought that was too serious when she was going into
No,
her
that's
history?
just one moment. Like when they had Amanda Waller, every scene with her, Viola Davis, the leader, the leader woman, every scene with her was like so over dramatic, and it just like had this weird like soul sucking over dramaticism to me, and it was just like, oh my god, I just rolled my eyes every time she was on screen because they overdid the character like so much. And every time there's a dramatic moment, same with Harley Quinn, whenever she's like, every man did this to me, like when she's doing her fight scene, and it was just like,
when
we
she
didn't really need
shoots,
that.
what's his name? When she shoots the
that part-
president.
The
Yeah.
first president.
Yeah. And they also do a lot of your favorite thing where they call out the mistakes in the script because they do that a lot.
Wait, when did they? I didn't catch it. When
Oh,
did
he's like,
they-
oh, I'm glad this gun had a bullet in it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just,
yeah.
There's like a couple of those moments where they
Yeah.
call out the
Well,
bad writing.
The reason why I thought they called that out, I'm glad this gun had a bullet in it, was because it was like an old gun or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
But it's still calling out itself.
it was. To me, that was passable because the
Mm.
entire movie was a certain type of silliness. Like any scene that had John Cena.
Okay.
I don't know. how
Yeah,
to
John
pronounce his name.
Cena was great till halfway through the movie. His character just
Yeah.
did a 180, and it's like, where'd
Yeah.
the fun John Cena go? This guy
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, it wasn't even like a fun, like, slowly arc. It just like he's just all of a sudden like super serious now
Yeah.
and like not even a comedic character.
Yeah, they like same
It
with
was
Rick
weird.
Flag. Like that scene, they both switched his characters. Like Rick Flag is like this militant, like taking orders, and he just completely changes to not being that. Also, he somehow made Rick Flag enjoyable. He was actually my favorite character in the whole movie, and I think that might have to do with the space movie he's in on Apple TV. Made me like him more. But in the other Suicide Squad, he sucked. He was like the worst character, but in this one, it's
He's
like, oh
not-
man, I
he-
love him in this.
Not memorable in the first one because I didn't
No.
remember him.
Oh yeah, he's in it, but in this one, he's super like
Was he-
charming. There's something lovable about
Wait,
him.
didn't he fall in love with the Enchantress in the first
yeah,
one?
yeah, that was his girlfriend in the first one, and he had like a
That's
weird
right.
beard.
I don't know anything.
That's probably and like I think they made him blonde in this one, right?
Yeah,
I don't know anything about his character as a character. Like,
Mhm.
what does he really offer?
he's the leader of the field leader of the Suicide Squad.
Why though?
He's just a
To
colonel
watch
in the
them,
military.
to make sure they all stay in line.
But like, he doesn't actually have any special abilities.
No, he's just a dude.
Oh.
He's just a very
He's like Nick Fury.
skilled, yeah, skilled like army guy.
Gotcha.
But he's fun.
So I disagree with the coloring. I like the
Okay.
color. I like the grading, but
Mhm.
editing was terrible.
Hmm.
Like twice they kept on repeating the same things, and it wasn't working.
Hmm.
Like what?
Like the flashbacks, it just wasn't working. And calling out the flashbacks,
Hmm.
like this much time ahead, and it goes back in the first scene, and then later when Peacekeeper's about to kill Ratcatcher, it's like 8 minutes before. It's like just show it.
Yeah,
Like do one or the
Yeah.
other, like
Yeah,
or show
yeah.
it simultaneously, or like cut back and forth.
Like
They
a
did that.
like a show don't tell situation.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
you don't have to spell it
Yeah.
out. You could just
Just
show
have it
You
have
could
it
just
cut
do
back and forth. The audience is smart enough to realize
Mm-hmm.
things are going on simultaneously.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It wasn't important that Polka Dot blew up. It was important that Polka Dot blew up the C4 before it needed to be.
Hmm.
That wasn't like a huge plot device or anything. And then the other thing that really annoyed me that I called out, they always switched the music from diegetic to non-diegetic, or
Mhm.
back and forth. They did that like
Yeah.
4
Wait,
times.
times.
what is that? What is
So
diegetic?
diegetic is when it's taking place in the scene. Non-diegetic is when it's not, like when if the
Gotcha.
character can hear it, it's diegetic.
Right. So like if it's a radio playing on
Mhm.
set.
and they
Gotcha.
transistored to that
4
What?
times.
Yeah, way too many
They
times.
did that 4 times.
I don't know why I didn't catch. Like, when was an example of that?
The car.
The
when
second song, the third
Kansas,
song.
Hannah, Hannah. Like it goes from the audience into the radio, and
It's like it's like not the first one. It's
they
when
do
they're,
it in
sing,
the
when they're singing
club.
"All My Friends Are Dead." That happens.
Oh, the club. I do remember
We're
them
into
doing
the
it in the
club.
club.
They do it
yeah.
a lot, and like yeah.
You could do it like once or twice was fine.
Mhm.
I was like the first one, like okay, cool, that's fine. But then they did it 4 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They also really set up when someone's gonna die. Like you knew, like that person's about to die immediately. Like it was, you could call it a mile away.
Speaking of the club, the scene when the
Is that why you're just like you're trying to?
because I was gonna say, not my time yet. Okay, it's not my turn yet.
You're like trying to like get Schmin's attention. That's what I was like looking. Schmin's no.
Speaking of the club, whenever the cops come in and they're like, "All right, we're trying to look for the Americans," and it's like literally tall, blonde hair, blue-eyed dude in a cowboy hat.
2
Yeah.
of them.
It's like, what are you? You don't have to
John
look for
Cena,
them.
the most
But
American looking.
You
dude.
have your eyes, right?
Oh man, John Cena is like a ridiculous human. Like, is that guy real? He's so huge, and the outfits they put him in were
Ridiculous.
amazing. Like him
Mhm.
having like the
The
belly
whitey
shirt.
tighties.
Yeah,
It
the
wasn't
whitey
even.
tighties.
It wasn't even supposed to be a belly shirt. It's just
Him.
it's a regular shirt,
Yeah.
and he's just too big, so it becomes a belly shirt.
It's like me wearing normal shirts when I stand up straight.
Raise your arms and the
Yeah.
belly shows.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually on that scene, it's Idris Elba is the first one to speak up.
Uh-huh.
The tall black British guy.
Yeah.
no,
like, he
I
just-
thought he was Australian.
He's British.
He was great though. I love
That
him in this.
accent sounded Australian as hell to me.
Nope. he's
Maybe
British. He's Brit-
honestly, I must have just
Captain
been in a
Boomerang
coma.
was Australian.
I don't remember. He was so. Oh, which leads me, because I was about to say I don't remember him. He must have been so unmemorable. Which leads me to my initial point about the whole entry scene where they're on the beach.
Mhm.
It felt so cringy to me that they just took like a bunch of characters, and then they just like killed off the ones they didn't really care about, and just were left with the instead of just having actual like DC characters that died on the beach in the Suicide Squad team like one. They could have just had kind of like no names that died, and then the ones that are left are the actual characters that like we know and love.
I think they were doing that just to like kill off characters and like leave you like, oh, I can't believe they killed him off.
I just feel like it's cheesy and
Because they had
gimmicky.
high profile actors playing
Mhm.
these characters who got killed off.
Yeah, like-
immediately,
That's why it
Nathan
feels-
Fillion.
I was gonna say Nathan
I
Fillion,
didn't
Pete
know that was-
Davidson.
That's why it feels weird to me. It's like it just feels like really weird. Like they just chose their favorite people
Mhm.
to keep going, but all these
Mhm.
other important characters with like important actors. I don't know. To me, that felt really gimmicky. I feel like they should have just had like no name, like soldiers or something.
That's what I think they should have started when they're recruiting everybody instead of showing
Mhm.
everybody die, because you have no like you don't care about them and you don't know who they are. or
Yeah,
anything like that.
exactly. It's weird. It
They-
feels really
They
weird.
did kill off two of my favorite characters, and I was kind of butthurt, and that's why I didn't like the movie as much.
Who'd they kill? Polka Dot Man. I'm
Polka
assuming?
Dot Man and Rick Flag, those are my two favorite characters, and they
Yeah.
killed the two guys in the main cast that die. It's
Mm.
just like, God
Yeah.
damn it.
I did like Polka Dot Dude.
Yeah, he had like a great, like, weird story about his mom. They
His
did it too many
mom.
times, so they should have just done it once or twice, but they did his mom as
I think
everybody.
they
As
should have done
everybody's.
it in just the starfish scene.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
the dancing
no,
scene
the
was, like,
dancing scene
it
was
so,
hilarious.
No, it wasn't.
It
It was
was
so
funny.
cringy.
I thought
It was
funny.
weird.
I did not
but it was
like it at
funny.
all. I was so uncomfortable.
Like, I don't think. I think you're supposed to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because he's an awkward character, and so it's like.
It wasn't awkward, uncomfortable. It was just like weird, and I just didn't like it. It's like I don't want to see this.
It made
wasn't
me
awkward.
laugh.
It wasn't awkward.
It was his outfit, his hair,
His
and just
weird
his weird
outfit.
dancing.
And his just weird demeanor.
Yeah.
I think if they just like left the people around him but put a spotlight on him, it could have done the same thing.
That's
No, because you're
okay.
supposed to, like, he can't even have, like, a sexual experience because he just sees his mom.
See, I took it as when he wants to kill somebody, he thinks of his mom. Not he's always thinking of his mom.
Well, no, he said my mom's always. She's like, when do you see your mom? He's like, always.
Mhm.
Always.
his mom.
It's all. He's
Well,
just insane.
That's why I thought it was like he's trying to kill everybody. I don't know. It's just a weird.
No, he just
kind
says
of
like
thing.
when I. You're right. He's like when I want to kill someone, I
Mhm.
just think of my mom, and they're like, well, when do you see your mom? He's like, always.
And I assume that is he always wants to kill people.
Yeah, that does tie it into that. I just figured it was like he's like he's sick in the head because his mom was
Yeah,
so fucked
and that's
up,
why he always sees.
and so he always sees his mom. But his hatred for her is why it's easy for him to channel wanting to kill people
Mhm.
if he sees her.
What is that called? Like what you're saying about they just put a spotlight on him? Is there something that's called in a film?
Spotlight.
No, just like his like imagination, like seeing a spotlight on him where he's dancing. No one else can see the spotlight but him.
Oh.
Oh.
Is there a term for that?
I don't.
Audience,
I don't know.
anybody in the comments want
Because
to help us
they
out?
do it again. They actually do that, like the Harley Quinn when she's fighting scene and all the
Yeah,
flowers.
with all the flowers.
I hated that so much because they didn't explain why that happened. Like I think it would have been better if she breaks out, she kills the guard, and she finds two other guards smoking crack, and she kills them, and then takes the crack pipe and takes a hit, and her eyes go crazy, and then all the colors start happening.
See-
I feel like that would have made way more sense instead of just throwing it in there like they did.
Oh, I thought it was just supposed to be like they were just taking stuff from the comics and putting it in there.
I thought they should have done that earlier.
yeah,
Because
it was.
she's making fun of killing these guys.
Mm,
And if it would have started earlier, like I loved that fight scene. I thought the choreography was great. It was
Yep.
different.
I didn't
she
like the
grabs
song though.
him.
I like the fighting. The song killed it for me.
I don't
Yeah.
remember what song was even playing.
It was just like oh ba da
oh,
Italian
because that's the song
restaurant
she was. That's the
song.
song she was singing when she was tied up.
Yeah, doesn't
Yeah.
mean I got to like
Yeah.
it.
No, that's true.
You're not wrong. But yeah, I think it should have been like it should have happened earlier, like showed
Mhm.
more subtle signs of it.
I
Like
agree.
she's having fun killing these
Yeah,
people.
exactly. That's supposed to represent her like twistedness that she enjoys
Mm.
killing people. Yeah, I totally agree with you.
I just didn't feel like the cartoon fit because it didn't do it any other time in the movie. And if
Right.
she
Was it a
would've-
cartoon? I thought
It was like animated.
Yeah, they had animated birds.
3D,
and they had
cartoony.
flowers popping
Oh,
out. It was-
I remember the flowers. I don't remember
It was
the
cartoon.
birds.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
as she leaves, you like see a bird hop into frame or something.
Yeah, there's all kinds of, and then
I don't remember
the spear is illuminated, like circled, like
Mhm.
literally like digitally circled. But
Hmm.
I just didn't feel like it fit anything else. But I feel like if she actually would have done like smoke some crack or something to where like this makes sense for her to be seeing this. Oh, this is really funny.
I think that's why she's supposed to be
She's
demented in
yeah,
the
she's
head.
crazy.
Yeah, but it doesn't do it anywhere else. That's my
I
problem.
do.
That's why I said
I
it should have
do
done it
agree.
earlier.
Yeah.
I do agree. Like I don't. I think we're all in agreement. I don't like Harley Quinn as a character.
I was just about to ask, how do you guys feel about
I'm
Harley
gonna say
Quinn?
this is the
But-
best version of her we've seen in film.
well, I was
in
gonna,
live action,
Yeah.
not including cartoon.
Yeah,
I was actually gonna say I really appreciated that she was like, no, like I have really bad taste in men, and I promised myself I would like stop if I saw a red flag, and this is a red flag. Granted, obviously, like her killing him just when she sees a red flag is like a very Harley thing to do. But I don't know. I liked that it seemed like they wanted to take her character in like a human direction,
I feel like
but
they,
it just like they placed her in weird situations everywhere else, and it just felt really forced to me.
I'm gonna say I feel like they wrote that character, that guy, in just to have Harley Quinn in the movie because he doesn't do anything except be killed by her
Yeah.
and give her a moment. And it's like, I don't know why this guy's in this movie. Okay, but
Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying. Like I don't remember what scene it was, but she's just like pacing behind one of the dudes, like when they're
Oh.
all
It's
gathered
when
on
the
a
thinker.
rooftop.
I'm walking back and forth.
I love that. I love that whole. The very first
That was-
opening
yeah.
line is, "Who ate all the fucking empanadas?" That made me laugh so hard in the theater, and no one else was laughing. I was like, I guess I should have came with Abbie. And
You
David.
pulled
They
a
would have
me.
totally laughed.
So Abbie could have laughed.
But
Oh.
that whole scene where they're like, where she's, if you have vanity plates, we're
Yeah,
gonna kill you.
right.
If you miss
You
red
die.
flags. Yeah, I love that entire scene, and her walking back and forth was funny. But I get that. I felt like she could have been more into the movie, but I don't feel like they could have made it work because the movie was more about blood sports.
I think
I think Ratcatcher stole the movie personally.
I
Or
love
what, is that
her.
her name? Is
Yeah, I
that
did.
Yeah.
Ratcatcher 2.
Ratcatcher 2.
I
I
think-
also love that she's 2.
yeah. What happened to her dad? Oh, he's dead. And then
I
you
thought
li-
she's
yeah.
like personally. I feel like they set that movie up for a spin-off of her. Like I
But
would
that's
watch.
really cute.
I would. Oh my
I
gosh!
love
The one
And
with the little
Sebastian
backpack,
is so
Sebastian.
cute.
Yeah, and he's like beep, 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 and waving every time. I
like
love
trying,
how they,
trying to shake his head.
I love how everyone calls it out too. It's like, why is the rat waving at me?
Okay, and that bothered me. Okay,
it
there's
bothered me.
literally a fucking shark in swim trunks and arms talking and walking around, but everyone's like, "Oh my god, is that rat waving at me?" It's like, what?
The
You
shark
mean is
was
that
kinda
shark
useless.
waving at me?
Yeah,
The
Wait,
shark
did I
was
say
kinda
shark?
useless, right? I feel like
The shark was
he was
totally
supposed to
useless.
be
Every
Groot.
He did
character was
nothing.
useless.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything.
He bit the starfish.
No, so he did nothing.
Yeah. Actually,
true.
the funniest scene with him is when they kill the wrong military members. That scene
Oh,
is amazing.
we didn't see any.
Oh yeah, the whole scene was amazing.
Yeah, the militia fighters.
See, okay, going back to the whole film, I loved everything that wasn't a big action part, because all the little things, all the human moments where they're all together in the bar was like, great. That first scene where they kill the wrong military is really
Mhm.
funny, but all the big action scenes, just like I was not into at all. But I love the little moments, and I feel like they should have. I think we just do that more instead of the big boss fights. I feel like movies would be better.
I feel like this is what happens when you try to get too many iconic characters in one movie. No, there's no like the balance is weird, the focus is weird. The times the characters get to have a moment, it feels awkward and forced. It's like, why were they really there? I don't know. It just felt cheap. Like something was cheap about
We just
the
introduced
execution.
Too many.
There's no
characters
iconic characters. I think that's
besides
also
Harley.
the problem. Yeah, except Harley.
But going back to what you said about Harley being more in the movie, I don't think so. I think she's a side character. She is not a main character.
Mhm.
And this version of her is like, she's a raw
I feel-
random kind of thing.
I-
Like it's trying to
yeah.
be funny by being like stupid random and like
Mhm.
cringe random,
I-
which
actually,
is not.
her best.
comedic.
I think the best bit in the whole movie was the whole Milton, the entire Milton bit.
I thought that
At
was
the
funny.
end where she was like, "You
We
right,
just had a
Milton?" He's like, "That's not my name." It's like,
Yeah.
yes, it is.
See, that's not random comedy though. Like it's actual
That's
like
pertaining to
intelligent
her.
comedy.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. More of that and less of fighting. That's what I want.
Yeah, like the other times when she was saying like the vanity plates or like when she appears
Mhm.
when they're like we're about to break out, like you guys are about to break me out, like
Yeah.
that's funny,
Yeah,
but
that
not
was
like
cute.
funny. Yeah.
it's a lot of the comedy with her seems too forced.
Mhm.
I agree.
Like, did you guys see Birds of Prey?
Unfortunately, yes.
I fell asleep on purpose in the first 15 minutes
Oh,
because like
I'm having a moment, T. I'm having a moment where you pull out like some sleeping pills. You're like, 15 minutes. Okay,
I
let's
just
do
like
this.
take like a board, and, like
You
look at
just-
Lauren like knock me out, punch me
You
in the
just have
face
a
really
Black
hard.
Widow moment.
Yeah. No, because we were watching it, and like it starts off with like she's getting an egg sandwich,
yeah.
and I was like, oh, this is how the movie's gonna go.
Yeah.
Like I'm already tired. Like I just like bundled up in the couch, like laid up, like I'm going to sleep.
I think she said this is her last performance
Good.
of Harley for a long time.
She can do it well, but I just think there's too much of the character.
Yep, too many
And
times. Yeah.
She needs to be spice. Like add
Yes,
it
I
just,
totally agree.
Just in like the certain
Yeah.
right timed
Yes.
spots.
And that's
Yes.
how it was every time she was added in there.
Mhm.
The little spice was
like
amazing.
the
Yeah.
Vandy place,
Yeah.
the
And
Milton.
And that's kind of what I meant is whenever you have the balance off because you have too many characters you're trying to have a moment with.
Mhm.
No, if you have a bunch of characters, just throw them in when it's perfect for their character and that's it. Like we don't need to create moments. Just let kind of like I don't just let it come to the character as something natural.
Like
Mhm.
how
You know?
Polka Dot Man was perfectly placed in his minimalism in it. Like he's the nice little spice throughout the whole movie. There's no like
Mm-hmm.
parts where you're fucking sick of him.
Yeah.
Every moment he's in, it's funny. So
Yeah.
more of that. And same with
Ratcatcher.
Ratcatcher. I feel like they did a little over drama with her a bit at certain points, and I didn't like how the rats defeated the giant starfish. I
It seems
kinda
know the message
it's-
was small things.
It was overpowered.
Yeah, it
The
was
rats are
OP for
overpowered.
sure.
Yeah. Like why are there really that many rats? Like I just don't feel like there would be that many rats.
I think there's more rats
You
than
think?
that on that island for
Mhm.
sure. Rats are everywhere.
Not
there.
not on the island, in the city.
In the city for sure.
Yeah.
You see that
No
shitty
way.
place?
It was
Well,
like it was like 50 feet full of a rat river.
They're pulling them all from everywhere on the
Yeah.
island.
They were coming from everywhere.
It felt to me like that many rats to like be 10 or 15 stories high of just a sea of rats. That would have to be like the entire state of something,
You'd be
you know.
surprised how many rats there are. You should really look up how many rats are in New York.
That's
Your mind will
true.
blow.
I think all those rats came from Austin.
I've never seen a rat
problem.
here.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I've had a rat chew a hole in my stairwell, and it
Oh my god.
was
I've only seen one rat in my life, and that was when I was in Berlin, and it was the size of a cat. And I was
yeah,
like,
they
"Oh
get
my
huge,
fucking
and they
God."
can jump over people.
Oh my god.
Like really, not even a cat-sized rat, but just like a normal-sized rat can literally spring itself and jump over a human. And I know this.
Because it happened.
You're in Austin?
No, here in Austin, I had the rat that chewed its way out of the stairs.
Uh-huh.
Well, it was a baby rat, and the maintenance didn't know what to do. They basically got a wet towel,
Mhm.
and they were like, oh, "We just need and so they threw the wet towel on it. It was already caught in a mouse trap,
Mhm.
but it was a baby rat, so it was still too big for a mouse trap. And so they threw the towel over it, and it was like jumping around. It was still caught in the thing. It was screaming. They scream when they're in pain. It's really sad. Anyway, long story short, it gets out of the trap, and it gets out of the rag, and it's like jumping. Actually, no, I'm sorry. It has the towel on it still, so it's like still jumping, like probably this tall, and it was a baby rat
Oh man.
under a wet rag. Or why do I keep saying rag? Towel, like a towel. Long story short, they're really powerful.
I have a way to bring this back to Fast and Furious.
Uh-oh. They came together as a family.
No,
Oh.
no, because there's a scene in Fast and Furious 4? 4? Where it's like they use a rat as a torture device. I just wanted to bring Fast and Furious into this conversation too.
Idris Elba is in Hobbs and Shaw.
He is.
And he's almost the same exact character as he plays in this movie.
Yeah, except not bionic.
I loved his outfit.
In this one.
That helmet was so cool.
I
With,
like
the jawbone was really rad.
I like
For-
how modular it was.
Yeah, the modular voice was really cool, and it was ridiculous.
This movie, not Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah,
Okay,
this movie,
I
yeah.
haven't seen.
I just like how it like pulled off and he could change the attachments, like
Yeah.
change his hand gun.
Yeah,
thing.
I didn't quite get what the hell he did, but I loved it.
Yeah, it was cool.
To me,
It's like what Peacekeeper says. Nobody likes to show off
Yeah,
unless it's fucking dope.
unless-
dope as
yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, unless it's
Just
dope
the way
as
he
fuck.
said that was great, and I was like, "Where's this? Where's
Yeah.
this guy?"
And then everybody's like, oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
And then Idris Elba turns around like, fuck.
Yeah, that entire scene was probably the highlight of the movie.
Yeah.
Just the random killing, how they're killing all the guys with the blowgun. Why does he have a blowgun? Just shooting blow darts at people.
Tiny bullets.
Huh?
Tiny bullets.
I mean, I liked how they were like competing because they basically had the same power.
Yeah,
And they even called that out.
And
which-
they called it out,
But
which
that's
is fine.
appropriate.
It was appropriate
done.
because
funny.
it
Yeah.
was going to become like the basis of their relationship.
Mhm.
But then I feel like they stopped competing after a while.
Yeah,
And it's
the
like-
characters, the John Cena's character just changed.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think after the bar, because in the bar he like asked for the drink for the rat, which was amazing.
Yeah.
That
It was
cute.
like a good
You
little
forgot the rat.
heartwarming moment.
I also
Yeah,
love
they
how they
called
use
Chico.
Fernet of all things too.
Yeah, well, I don't even know what that is.
It's
Oh, it's gross.
super gross.
It's disgusting.
I love it though. It's a digestive, so it helps like with your stomach and it's
Oh,
super herby.
It just makes you want to throw up, so you don't have to eat like whatever you're gonna eat
Mhm.
next mixed with what you just ate.
uh,
To me.
I feel
Almost.
Like, was that a strip club? Because I feel like at the beginning they were showing butts,
Oh yeah, there were
and then we
girls
saw
on poles.
boobs, but then there weren't any strippers. It was just women.
I think yes and no. Like, it was a club that a sexy club.
Yeah, I was just confused about what was going on.
I think it was a
and-
sexy club.
The thinker he just felt so useless. I thought he'd have like some cool like psychic powers, and he didn't fucking
Yeah.
do anything.
No, they didn't even like show his like superhuman intelligence. He just had weird things sticking out of his dome.
That's it.
Yeah.
It was weird. That was a weird.
And
character.
apparently he took advantage of his people he was working on. It just like weird stuff
Yeah,
like
it
that.
didn't. It was a weird.
They had
Yeah.
a lot of good intentions,
Mhm.
but a lot of misses.
Mm-hmm.
Like with those, like you could have set it up well, or you could have used it a different way, but it just didn't hit that mark.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was there. It was like it was a
Mhm.
good plan B.
Kind of like the Suicide Squad.
Yeah. What was I thinking?
Oh, another thing I was gonna bring up, like, I think the problem, like Suicide Squad 1 and 2, I don't think the problem is the directors. I think the
Mm-mm.
problem is the Suicide Squad story is not great and
Mm.
probably shouldn't be filmed again.
Mm. Do you want to
Well,
go into that
it's-
more?
Well,
Do you-
it's trying to take not bad as in like poorly written, but like evil villain characters and making them likable.
Mhm,
But then that makes them too good, and so
Mm.
it takes away from that character.
mhm.
But then they're also trying to be funny at points, so it's like you need to mix the comedy and drama
Mhm.
more smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
But you're trying to, while good writers can do it, make unlikable characters likable. And so it's this weird thing where they're trying to keep them super evil but make them likable.
Yeah, I just don't think it works. Like,
Yeah, they're-
if they had roguish characters would be fun.
Yeah.
Like, that's what
That's
the
like
whole Kelly's
Deathstroke.
Heroes, that's what they were trying to go for, like the Dirty Dozen, things like that. And those characters are roguish and not evil, and it
Or
works.
redeemable.
Yeah, they're redeemable. They're like marauderies. They're like fun
Mhm.
little, like, let's get on a pirate ship. Let's rape and pillage a little bit. But we're still good guys.
Well, that's what Deathstroke is, what Bloodsport is, what
Sport. I
Colonel-
kept thinking his name was Bloodshot.
close. He's just super tired.
Or really high.
He's just sitting there the whole time, just like, oh my god.
Shot.
And yeah, and Colonel Flag, they're all redeemable
Mhm.
rogue characters. Harley Quinn, not redeemable.
Mhm.
Polka Dot Man, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, to me, it's like I feel like having the pressure of you've got like a chip implanted in your head, so if you don't comply, we're gonna blow you up.
Mhm.
That almost makes it to where they can't be their weird, wacky selves because
Mhm.
it's like you have to now like fit into this line, or else there's the fear of death. I don't. It just something about that seemed like it constricted their like characters somehow.
Yep.
I didn't think so because I didn't think about the chip until the very end. Like, I
Oh.
didn't-
No, it's always there. And I hated
It is, I
the
just didn't care.
crew, the Watchers. I hated the guy.
yeah, they tried to make them all goofy. And
Yeah, I hated it.
It's
I really hated the woman. I don't know why. Every time she said Mrs. Waller, I was like, oh my god, shut up! Someone kill her. Implant something in her head. Murder that woman. She's horrible. But of course she lived. And they killed off my two favorite characters instead of her. Whatever.
Yeah, I think it's also falls under DC. I mean, it's DC competing against Marvel.
Mhm.
Like, that's the root of it. And Marvel has the Avengers. DC just now has a good Justice League,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and they're trying to compete with. Suicide Squad would probably be close to like Guardians of the Galaxy,
That's
or
what I
they're
had.
trying to beat MCU to a villain entourage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they have one in the Marvel.
It's Doom
Thunderbolts.
Squad or
Thunderbolts. That's
something.
who they are.
Both sides have a lot of them.
Yeah.
But I think this is DC trying to beat Marvel to that villain entourage movie that everybody likes.
Yeah, like that's what it kind of makes me feel like. If they're trying to make like a villain entourage, they should have changed the story to where they weren't trying to save the world. Even though technically they weren't trying to save the world, they were just trying to cover up America's involvement in like this thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like they still ended up saving the world from a giant space creature. So it's
Did
like
they? Was that? It was very unclear what the motives of the starfish were. They just
the
wanted the
motives.
city.
Well, the motives of the starfish, because he said it whenever he was dying. He was like,
He
I
just
just
wanted to
wanted to,
float.
I just wanted to float in the sky. I was so happy.
Yeah, he just wanted to get off
But
the
it's
planet.
like-
But why? I don't feel like they needed to kill him, and I don't feel like he was trying to end the world. I feel like he was just
Well-
trying to leave the world.
Well, it was the fact that he feeds off of like the consciousness of humans.
Yeah, but they attacked him first.
They
I
did.
don't really feel like he's the villain here.
Well, I think that's what they're supposed to show. Well, the point I'm trying to make though is if they just wanted to make a wacky gang of villains, they should have changed the story to where they're doing something bad, like trying to take over the world. Or
Yeah, they need to let villains be villains.
yeah,
And they
yeah.
are doing that in the game because they have a game coming out for this, and I think the plot is Superman has turned evil, so they get the Suicide Squad to take down Superman.
What?
So if they had something like that, how cool
Yeah,
would
that would have been way
been?
that would have
Yeah.
been way more entertaining, and I would have loved to see how all of them pertain to that. Also, how is Ratcatcher 2 evil? I don't know her story.
Yeah, it
Rob
was
the
like the
bank.
armed robbery.
Yeah, and they
Oh.
made the rats as weapons.
Yeah, which they put her in that like,
That's
asylum, which is
Questionable writing,
Yeah.
whatever.
they missed the mark.
Yeah,
That's all there is to it. They missed the mark.
yeah. I don't think James Gunn was he the right director for this. I don't know. I feel like they definitely wanted him to make Guardians of the Galaxy as the Suicide Squad.
Well,
and
who
he
else?
didn't do it.
Who did the first one? Was it Zack
David
Snyder?
Ayer.
Oh,
David Ayer, who I don't know what else he did, but
the first one was not good.
yeah, it's got problems. But it didn't bother me as much as it bothered everyone else. But whatever, that's
I
a
just didn't
different
like
movie.
So who do you think would have been a good director?
No one. They shouldn't have done another one.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I would have rather just had a Bloodshot and Peacemaker buddy comedy. That's what I wanted on Bloodsport. And maybe have cameos of these other guys, like
Yeah.
Rick Flag, like they see him at a bar. He's like, "Hey, Rick, what's up, dog?" And they party. That's what I would have rather had because that was the best moments of the movie instead of making this big ensemble bullshit that. I'm actually just sick of superhero movies. Even though it's been a year since they came out, I just don't give a shit about them. I want little Green Knights. That's what I want. More Green Knight type movies that are weird instead of these big, huge explosion movies.
Well, that's all I got.
Yeah, we lulled. That was the first lull in the whole one. Oh, go us.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see.
So we're moving on to ratings.
Oh, we're there yet? Okay.
Or do we have anything else to add? Do we want to talk about? Well, we did kind of talk about parts we liked. So
Yeah, let's talk about our favorite moments.
Okay. Honestly, I think my favorite moments were I think the part where they're like trying to break her out of jail and she's like, "Oh, I can go back in there."
Mhm.
Like that was cute. I liked pretty much anything with Ratcatcher 2 personally. I just feel like she seemed the most natural in that environment
Yeah.
somehow. And she was just a cute character.
Mhm.
And Sebastian has my heart.
he has everybody's heart.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so I was actually thinking when I was watching, it's like that they did the little furry animal right.
Mhm.
The fox, I'm going back to the fox in the Green Knight. They didn't know how to use the furry creature. Anyway, so they did Sebastian right. They didn't give him a weird voice. and
Wabe.
Yeah, he did what a rat would do. A nice, friendly little rat.
and so those were my favorite parts. And I actually liked the scene where she's breaking herself out of jail.
Mm.
I didn't, but to be fair, I also didn't recognize all of the drawn animated stuff.
Mhm.
So maybe that, but I still just liked that scene. Those are my favorite parts.
Yeah, I think it's just that militia part. There's
Yeah.
a funny part. We already talked about that. So just beating a dead horse. That.
Yeah, the whole Milton character being involved in everything was great to me. Like
I
him,
did see when they ran into what was it called? Start with a J.
Jotunheim.
Yeah, Jotunheim is the Norse thing. But yeah, like I saw him running, and I'm like, who's this Milton?
Yeah, he was there the whole time, and it's just like randomly thrown in there.
And it showed that he was there the whole time too, which is cool.
I thought that was brilliant, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
The
Kind of brilliant.
The militia thing was great. I actually loved the if it didn't get ruined for me, the whole airplane where it's a werewolf. I thought that was really funny.
I wish Pete Davidson had more time to be Pete Davidson.
Yeah. I wish he didn't die immediately. I would have liked to see him a little more. Even they gave him like an extra 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, how to make more jokes. He's a funny dude.
Mm-hmm.
But they just took him off so easily.
Also,
so
the
quickly.
javelin bit throughout the whole movie was really funny. Like, how he's dying, where he's like, take this javelin and do. He's like, I don't know what. And it just.
But then immediately after that, I thought, like, that joke got killed a little bit by the. Like, he says to do this with the javelin.
I thought so too.
But the bit was funny.
The ongoing
after
bit,
that, yeah.
Yeah, the bit would have been funny. They definitely took it too far with her breaking it down.
But then going into like, I don't know what to do with this. That was the funnier parts.
Yeah, that was it. And John Cena pre the turn was great.
Yeah.
Rick Flag pre the turn was great. Like I said, I feel like the little moments are so good, but the big moments overshadow it and kill it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So on that note,
I guess we can get the ratings now, if we want to.
I'm gonna give it 5.5 well done cute creatures out of 10.
I'm gonna give it 5 dying javelins out of 10.
Giving it I'm gonna give it 6.2 butthole references out of 10.
Which is another thing. I have to say, they should have made. I thought they were gonna make that a running joke, and they didn't.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
All right.
Also, did anyone notice that role was written for Dave Bautista? Because that was Dave. If replaced John Cena for Dave Bautista, same. Because Dave Bautista wanted to be in the movie, but he had to do Army of the Dead. So I feel like John Cena was Dave Bautista's character was that. And also Will Smith and Bloodsport. His characters are interchangeable. Yes. So lazy writing, whatever.
Yep. 5.5, 6. 6-ish.
Yeah, I'd say 6.
It's
6
like
is
high
fair.
fives.
Yeah, high five.
Yeah, high fives.
High fives all around.
All right.
Yeah, that's it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, don't like the video, subscribe to the video YouTube channel. Follow us on all your podcasts at TV Party Time. And
we're also on Instagram.
Yep.
And Facebook.
Anything else? Ron?
Yeah. Well, just look up
Just
TV Party Time or TV Party Time Pod.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you don't, we're going to send a new Suicide Squad after you.